Starting off at number 10, we have Furbies. Of course, Furbies would be on this list. Those toys are terrifying with their soul-sucking eyes. Can't lie, I had one of those when I was younger, but I never put the batteries in. I was terrified of it attacking me in my sleep. This Furby isn't one to do that, but it is one to swear. Apparently, this Furby was caught saying "what the F" and then "F you," and not just like F, like the full word. This led to children repeating these phrases. Parents also claim that the Furby was causing more violent behavior in their kids, while also promoting them to swear. Next up at number 9, we have the good old Minions. Minions are cute, right? I mean, they can be annoying, but the movie Despicable Me was a success, so obviously tons of Minion toys, clothes, and memorabilia were made to continue profiting off of the movie's success. Now, McDonald's Happy Meals started releasing collectible Minion figures. Each Minion is dressed differently and says something different. For example, one laughs and then it says banana, its usual catchphrase or whatever. Now, there is one toy in this collection that has been getting a lot of backlash, saying that it was promoting kids to swear. It's the Minion that's dressed in caveman attire. You can hear it say what sounds like "what the F." Now, this isn't scary per se, but what is scary is the effect that it can have on children. Parents were complaining that their child immediately started saying the F word. It's the fact that children can mirror speech and behavior patterns so quickly that even a toy can influence this. Moving on to number 8, we have the HYPNOTIC ocean toy. For Christmas one year, the Skeleton family, yes, that's their real last name, the Skeletons, they received a gift for their little baby. This gift was seemingly innocent. It was a toy from the Walmart brand called Kid Connection, and it was a plastic boat that would attach to the baby's crib. It then would play calming ocean noises or music to try and help the baby fall asleep. However, while it was playing one day, the mother noticed a hypnotic voice coming from the toy. She claims that it sounded like it was saying, "I hate you." The family decided to take the toy back to Walmart thinking that maybe it was just a glitch. However, they found that all of these products had this message. Walmart did a great job at hiding this from the public. In fact, there's only one article from the Columbia that talks about this instance. Walmart pulled all the toys from the store and never even addressed this product recall. Now, people have many theories surrounding this toy. The main theory being that since this toy was made in China, it was their attempt to manipulate children into self-hate and misery. Next up at number 7, we have the VELCRO throw and catch toy. Two brothers from the UK aged 7 and 6 were playing with one of those VELCRO throw and catch toys. Basically, it's like a disc you slide your hand on, it's all VELCRO, you can throw a ball and it sticks to it no problem. Kinda fun. Seems like an innocent toy, right? However, after being left out in the rain, the VELCRO peeled off to reveal a disturbing image. The image was captioned S-head, the swear word, and showed a boy who appeared to be flinging feces. This one might appear more funny than scary, but again, it's the fact that the company made this and almost got away with it. What if the mother didn't find it? How many other kids have this toy and have seen that image? Why is this toy promoting inappropriate language and behavior? It's disgusting. Coming in at number 6, we have HATCHIMALS. HATCHIMALS are created by Spin Master and are little robotic type creatures that hatch themselves from an egg. In fact, this toy was ranked the hottest toy of 2016. Several parents have claimed that their children's Hatchimals make sexual noises and swear in their sleep. Apparently, when the Hatchimals are sleeping, it doesn't quite sound like snores. In fact, it sounds more like moans, and then it repeatedly says, "F me." However, the company denies this and says it's just supposed to be unidentifiable noises. Either way, it does kind of sound like that, and as a result, it was exposing children to sexual content at such a young age. Now, I'm tired of having children's toys sexualized, and although this probably wasn't done on purpose, it still makes me concerned for the susceptible minds of children. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with ELMO. Now, the ELMO dolls are pretty creepy as it is, but parents and children still love this cuddly laughing doll. Now, Fisher-Price came out with the Elmo Knows Your Name doll. Honestly, that's a scary name. Like, next it's gonna be Elmo Knows Where You Live doll. Anyways, this doll was programmed so that it could learn your child's name. Now, one woman by the name of Melissa Bowman bought this toy for her son. Her 2-year-old son, James, loves Elmo everything, so she was happy to gift it to him. That was until it kept repeating, "Kill James." It then got James himself to repeatedly say, "Kill James." Fisher-Price doesn't know why the Elmo started to say that, as it's only programmed to learn certain phrases and names. Moving on to number 4, we have the Little Mummy Cuddle and Coo doll. Now, this doll is made by Mattel, and just like its name suggests, it babbles and coos and even says mama. Now, along with saying those things, the doll clearly says, "Islam is the light." I've listened to it myself and it does sound like it says that. It definitely does not sound like just baby babble. Parents were upset that this toy was trying to coerce their child into this religious ideology. But that doesn't stop there. The baby is also said to say something that sounds like "Satan is king." This is not as distinctive as the other saying, but you can definitely still hear it. Like, imagine getting a doll that was saying "Satan is king." That's some weird Annabelle, Chucky doll stuff right there. I would have gotten rid of that so fast. Coming in at number 3, we have the MONSTAZ plushie. Now, these cute little fluffy toys are made by the company TY. There's a bunch to collect, and when you squeeze them, they all have a unique thing that they say. There are so many conspiracies surrounding these toys. A lot of people claim that they are filled with subliminal messages. One of the things that the toy says is, "I hide away with lots of jewelry that I stole." So there you go, that's promoting kids to steal and making it seem like it's okay since their cute little furry friend did it. Then you have the toy that said, "Turn off the TV and punch the baby," or "push the baby." That's what it at least sounds like it says. People hear different things, obviously. I personally heard "turn off the TV and punch the baby." Like, that's aggressive. It's literally coaxing a child into violent behaviors. And then there's also a message that was revealed when a man recorded what the toy said and then played it in reverse. So this was from the MONSTAZ plushie that looks like a pirate. This toy says some gibberish before saying "Arg, walk the plank." When you play that gibberish section backwards, it clearly says "deep in the rainforest." Now, that's not scary at all, but people believe that all of these toys contain hidden messages like that one, and that when you combine it all together, it will reveal something dark. In our second spot, we have the monster truck symbol. Now, just a little disclaimer, this next story is actually quite disturbing. A mother was at a Monster Jam event when she bought her child a souvenir. It was a pink, soft, plushy monster truck. However, when she analyzed it later on, she realized the disturbing truth behind the heart symbol that was on the truck. Apparently, this heart is a symbol called the Girl Lover logo, and it is used by pedophiles that prey on younger girls. That is absolutely horrifying and disgusting. The mother claims that the toy was designed for specifically girls at a predominantly male event. Now, the manufacturers of this toy claim to not have known about this symbol, and as a result they pulled the toys and even asked people who bought the toys to contact them. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the evil stick. This toy was sold at dollar stores all throughout America. Now, this terrifying toy may look like a cute little fairy or a princess magic wand on the outside, but it is way darker than that. So this toy is basically a pink wand resembling a handheld mirror with a flower-shaped design on top of the handle. Now, just looking at it, it doesn't appear scary at all. In fact, the packaging is so misleading. It has a cute little character and even claims that it will play beautiful music. Boy, is that extremely false. Instead of beautiful music, once you press a button on the wand, an evil laugh is heard and an image flashes on the foil. Now, the image wasn't that clear until the foil was peeled off. Behind the foil revealed an evil-looking girl with sharp teeth and big red eyes with blood dripping from both. She is hunched over and she is seen cutting her arm. It is a horrible and terrifying image, and no one knows who made this toy, how it was approved for sale, or how it even made its way to the shelves. People believe that this image was placed there to subliminally promote self-harm. And honestly, if a child was constantly exposed to that image, I would be afraid that they would start to copy it and inflict harm on themselves. It's not an appropriate toy at all.
Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have In the Air Tonight. This Phil Collins classic has one of the most famous drum solos of all time. It never fails to get absolutely anyone lit. Even Gen Z likes this song. For a long time, people thought that this song was about something quite dark. They thought it was about Phil Collins or whoever the song is from the point of view of. They see someone who is drowning in a pool, but what they also see is another person just walking by and not helping them at all. This is already dark, but it turns out that this song has even more to it that just adds to the depth of it. Apparently, this song is actually about Phil getting a divorce from his wife and how there was just so much anger and emotion. Honestly, when you combine the two, things get pretty grim. In our number 9 spot today, we have Born in the USA. A classic, seemingly patriotic tune definitely isn't what it may seem on the surface. Of course, this Bruce Springsteen classic has been played at many a 4th of July barbecue. I mean, the album cover itself features a big American flag, but when we really dive into the lyrics, we see a very different story. This song is actually a bit of an attack on American pride, mostly in relation to the Vietnam War, as well as the troubles that the regular working American would see day to day in the country. While we tend to belt the chorus at the top of our lungs, the meat of the song is really in the lyrics of each verse. In our number 8 spot today, we have Kill Jay-Z. This Jay-Z track is the first song on the album 444. This song is mostly about the killing of his ego and a reflection on his past mistakes and how he handled them, but there are some very dark moments hidden in this song. There are a couple moments he discusses his childhood that are very dark, but the main one I want to talk about today is a moment from when he was older in 1999. On December 2nd of that year, Jay was at a release party for Q-Tip's debut album, Amplified. Before the party, there were bootleg copies of Jay-Z's upcoming album floating around all throughout the hip-hop world. At the party was Lance Rivera, who is a music producer, and it was rumored that he may have had something to do with the leak of Jay-Z's album. After a confrontation at the party quickly turned into a physical altercation, Jay-Z ended up stabbing Lance. He later turned himself in, and while he was facing a possible 15-year sentence, he ended up with only 3 years of probation. In our number 7 spot today, we have Pumped Up Kicks. Pumped Up Kicks and the band Foster the People really rose to fame in 2011 as a catchy indie pop tune, but it hides a pretty gruesome message. The song was originally released online as a free download and helped the band gain a multi-record deal with Columbia Records. The songwriter, Mark Foster, wanted the lyrics to reflect the thoughts of an extremely troubled and homicidal young person. Mark saw a trend in the rising mental illness rates among young people, and he wanted to bring awareness to the issue. Music is definitely a very smart way to try and get through to teenagers and young adults, and the song did just that, as it spent 8 consecutive weeks at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Although it's easy to get lost in the upbeat melody of the music, when you really listen to the lyrics, you get the true message of the song. In our number 6 spot today, we have Drink a Beer. Calling all country music fans, this Luke Bryan tune makes you just want to grab those closest to you, watch the sunset, and drink a nice cold beer or soda. I really do think that this is what the song is trying to get across, but not without a really terrible and tragic backstory. If you know about Luke Bryan, you probably know that he lost his brother Chris from a car accident in 1996, then he lost his sister Kelly in 2007. While this tragedy would be almost too much for anyone to bear, Luke seems to have this amazing ability to channel this tragic loss into his music and how he lives his life. Drink a Beer is about losing people you love and remembering the things you used to do with them, like getting together and drinking a beer. It's about wishing you had those moments back, even just for one more day. If this didn't already make you think that Luke is one of the coolest and strongest people out there, his brother-in-law, who was married to his sister before she passed, ended up dying from a heart attack in 2014, 1 year after Drink a Beer was released. Luke and his wife have since taken in their 3 kids, adding to their family. It's unbelievable how they just keep on keeping on, but it makes me feel very inspired. In our number 5 spot today, we have Chandelier. Whether you know this song for Sia's huge vocals, the catchy chorus, or the gorgeous music video that features a young and amazing Maddie Ziegler, it's no doubt that you've belted this one out at some point or another. While this song is extremely catchy, not everyone knows the tale the song is actually telling. I can admit that I had no idea that this song was about Sia's previous struggle with addiction. Although she's been sober for years, she recounts the feeling of not being in control and having a lack of concern for her future. It's very unfortunate that Sia had to endure these struggles, but I'm very happy for her being able to overcome her addictions and live a sober life. In our number 4 spot today, we have Semi-Charmed Life. The Sky Was Gold! Everyone loves this song. It's one of those ones that just gives you like an instant boost of serotonin, and that might be exactly what Third Eye Blind was intending on when they created it back in the 90s. What people don't necessarily realize is that this song is actually about a couple getting together and getting intoxicated on some pretty serious substances. In an interview with Billboard, the lead singer Stephen Jenkins explained that the happy melody was incredibly intentional, as they wanted the music to reflect the quote, bright shiny feeling you get on speed. I'm not gonna lie, I've heard this song way too many times to have not realized that this is actually about. Used to be on a playlist of a restaurant I worked at, so I used to listen to it like every day for 5 years. In In our number 3 spot today, we have Creepin'. Creepin' by Eric Church is quick-paced and upbeat, and the driving drum hits give it a really cool feeling before bursting into this explosive chorus. It seems like this song could be about a multitude of things. At a first listen, I thought it was about hunting. I'm not really sure why I thought that, but just like gave me that sort of vibe. So I was a bit surprised when I found out what the song was actually about. Turns out this one is about not being able to get out of your own head and kind of like a descent into madness. This song also describes all of the ways that he's tried to drown out his memories with a lot of illicit substances as well as alcohol and caffeine. Probably not the best combination, as at the end of the song he talks about getting a little too deep and almost losing his life as a result of it. In our number 2 spot today, we have I'll Be Home for Christmas. Okay, I know it's a bit too early at this point, but for this spot I am going to be talking about a Christmas tune. I'll Be Home for Christmas is truly a holiday standard. This song was written in 1943 by Kim Gannon and Walter Kent. When Bing Crosby recorded it, it landed in the top 10 and has been a popular Christmas tune ever since. This song is actually fairly literal in its sad message, but I never really took a moment to stop and consider the lyrics. The song is written from the perspective of a soldier who is overseas. He's writing home to tell his family that he'll be home for Christmas, which should be happy, but the alternate title of the song is If Only in My Dreams, which really does mean that it is unlikely that the soldier will actually be returning home for Christmas. The song was written during World War II and was meant to comfort the friends and family of the soldiers who were fighting overseas. Having a loved one missing for Christmas is never easy, but I can't imagine what it would be like to be missing a family member because they were fighting in a war. I think that the slow, melancholy feel of the song really drives home its true meaning. In our number 1 spot today, we have Only. It's no secret that people have often linked the Illuminati and rap music together. I don't entirely understand it, but there are people out there who do nothing but speculate. For this one, we are moving out of the lyrics and more so into the music video and that kind of symbolism. There are a ton of people who believe that the music video to Only by Nicki Minaj is about the Illuminati using mind control devices on people. People really believe that they have perfected this technology that is allowing them to take over people's minds, and that they are going to be using it to crack into people's subconscious and suck out their souls. This idea is said to come from the people trapped in nets in the music video, the 2 pillars standing on either side of Chris Brown that are supposed to represent light and darkness, and the butterfly in the music video that is a symbol of change when someone morphs from one normal being into their mind-controlled self. I'll be honest, I don't get it, but it's just what the people are saying, and I'm relaying that information back to you. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have Blessings by Big Sean featuring Drake and Kanye West. At a first glance, this song is just a moment where all the rappers can take a step back and reflect on being grateful for everything they have and everything that they have achieved. But we really get the hidden dark message when we watch the music video for the song. In the video, there are a lot of Illuminati references and symbolism. Whether or not you think that this is their admission to being a part of the Illuminati is up to you, but let me show you the imagery that I'm talking about. The video starts off with Big Sean walking on clouds, and then he begins confessing to a priest who is played by himself. This is a reflection of one of the most prevalent principles of the Illuminati, that they are all gods. To push this even further, Drake flashes the 666 hand, which shows his approval of the Antichrist. We then see Big Sean on a staircase, which is homage to the Freemasonry's Jacob's Ladder, and his arms are also stretched out, which is to mimic Jesus on the cross. It is no shock to us as listeners that these guys are full of themselves, but it is kind of shocking to see just how much.
Coming at number 9, we have Stan by Eminem. I mean, right off the bat, we know that Stan is a pretty controversial song. It's about a superfan who loses his mind and gives everything up to try and get closer to Eminem. This guy abuses his girlfriend, follows Eminem from show to show, and writes him letters non-stop to try and get his attention. The term Stan has stemmed from this song. For those of you who don't know, that means when you support something wholeheartedly. Now, even though there are the very obvious signs that this song is dark, with the Stan superfan dying at the end of the song, there is a part in the music video where Stan puts his pregnant girlfriend into the trunk of the car. Now, some people think that this is reference to Eminem's song Kim, where he raps about doing the same thing to his ex-girlfriend. People think that with multiple references from songs that this might have actually happened in real life, or it could just have been a dark fantasy. And guys, make sure that you like this video, it really helps us out.
Coming in at number 8, we have Kings Never Die by Eminem. It is pretty unsurprising that Eminem has 2 tracks that made it onto this list. In the song, he talks about his anger towards other whack rappers, critics, and ignorant fans who spew hate when they don't really know what they're talking about. But at one point in the song, he talks about how he would sell his soul to the devil in order to remain on top of the rap game. He then goes on to discuss, while he loves rap and the music, he hates fame and how he has had to make a lot of personal sacrifices in his life because of it. It is his passion and the only thing he's done for the last 30 years, so it can't be easy to just quit and leave the game altogether.
Coming in number 7, we have Changes by Tupac, one of the greatest hits to come from one of the greatest artists of all time. Changes is a song that highlights the struggle of growing up black in America, growing up in a world where you come out of the womb poor, your parents barely have enough money to buy you anything, and you have to rob and steal just to eat. About how racism towards you will keep pushing you down and how hard it is to get out of the ruthless cycle. In the song, he says, "I wake up in the morning and ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself?" Honestly, this is one of the first public figures in the black community to start openly talking about mental health. And the song is about how things never change and about how the system is made to keep you in the same spot and keep the struggle real.
In our number 6 spot today, we've got Kill Jay-Z, which is surprisingly by Jay-Z. This is the first song on the album 444. The song is mostly about the killing of his ego and a reflection on his past mistakes and how he handled them, but there are a few dark moments hidden in this song. One is right at the beginning when he talks about shooting his drug-addicted brother when he was only 12 years old for stealing his jewelry. Luckily, his brother was fine and didn't end up pressing charges, but it's really sad that he was in this situation to begin with. Jay-Z also talks about his father leaving his family at a young age and how that hurt him, and he had to build up a wall in order to protect himself from feeling that kind of hurt again. But now, as an adult, he's had to work on tearing down those walls in order to be there and be vulnerable for his own children. He then goes on to talk about a moment from 1999. On December 2nd of that year, Jay was at a release party for Q-Tip's debut album, Amplified. Before the party, there was bootleg copies of Jay-Z's upcoming album floating all throughout the hip-hop world. At the party was Lance Un Rivera, who was a music producer, and it was rumored that he may have had something to do with the leak of Jay's new album. After a confrontation at the party quickly turned into a physical altercation, Jay-Z ended up stabbing Lance. He later turned himself in, and while he was facing a possible 15-year sentence, he ended up with only 3 years of probation.
Coming in number 5, we have Kendrick Lamar's Swimming Pool. Some people think that the song Swimming Pools could be about someone losing their mind. I always thought that was just about getting lit and having a good time. But in the music video of the song, we see a bunch of bottles fall from the sky and shatter on the ground. Now, this wasn't the boys celebrating because they just smashed another 26er, but apparently this is supposed to represent someone's mind breaking. There's also a line where he says, "Now open up your mind and listen." This could be showcasing someone with schizophrenia being communicated with from someone inside their own mind.
In our number 4 spot today, we have D-Rugs by Cam'ron. This song is about children whose parents choose a life of drugs over them. The song starts off with Cam'ron just speaking the intro, and he says, "Remember parents, kids don't ask to be born," which is a really strong but sad start to what is a dark song with an important message. In the song, he refers to the drugs as a girlfriend or boyfriend that the parents are choosing. He talks about his mom being addicted to cocaine and seeing her do the drugs and watching her addiction and dependence grow. It's really sad to think about how many children have to witness this sort of thing. Seeing your parent constantly in this kind of altered state and feeling helpless. Cam'ron then goes on to talk about how, with his mother's boyfriend always being around, he started to get acquainted with the drugs as well and goes on to begin selling. In the third verse, he talks about his mom being jealous of his relationship with the drugs and how he gains money from it while she pays to see him. The song ends with him explaining that his mom had to be hospitalized because of an overdose and that they both ended up arrested. The last line of the rap is, "But that's what we get, fucking with drugs," which I think ends it off pretty perfectly.
Coming in at number 3, we have Nicki Minaj, Only. Now it's time to step out of the lyrical speculations and into symbolism. It's no surprise that people have linked the Illuminati to the rap game. There are a ton of people who think that the music video for Only is about the Illuminati using mind control devices on people, that they have the perfect technology that allows them to take over people's minds, and that they will be using it to crack into our subconscious and suck out your soul, morphing you into a new person. This comes from the people trapped in nets in the music video, the two pillars standing on either side of Chris Brown that are supposed to represent light and darkness, and the butterfly in the music video that is a symbol of change, when someone morphs from their normal self into a mind-controlled being. The only thing I don't get about this is if I was in the Illuminati, why would I put hints in rap music videos? Shouldn't I just keep all my plans secret and keep taking over the world?
At number 2 on the list today, we have A Baltimore Love Thing by 50 Cent. We all know 50 Cent as the rapper who famously got shot 9 times, but in this 2005 track, he really hits us with a harsh reality. After a first listen, this song sounds like a love song, but it is really 50 rapping from the point of view of the world's most addictive drug, heroin. Heroin is very ingrained in the world of entertainment, but it is just as ingrained in the heroin capital of the United States, Baltimore, Maryland. One of the harshest lines in the song is, "If you give birth, I'll already be in love with your kids." This is in reference to the fact that if a mother is doing heroin during pregnancy, not only is there a chance that she could lose the pregnancy, but there is also a chance that the baby will be born with the drugs in their system, causing them to have to go through a very painful withdrawal. Near the end of the song he says, "And we'll be hand in hand when we walk through those pearly gates, and to see to that, I'ma do whatever it takes." This is 50's way of describing how the drug will do everything to take over your life until it ultimately leads to your death.
And coming at the number 1 spot, we have Kevin Gates XXL 2014 Cypher. In this song, Kevin Gates says, "Killed my brother, so I took him from his family. When I got some tears tattooed on my face, now I'm branded." You might have let this one slip by you, but apparently Kevin Gates' brother was killed by a gang member, and he wasn't going to take this lying down. Gates found the guy who took his brother's life and took him out himself. He wasn't going to wait for the police to get involved. This was personal. The tattoos on his face represent that he committed murder, and some people think that he could be affiliated with some gangs. That is a bold move to put that into a song. This guy is really putting everything out in the open. Didn't Bobby Shmurda go to jail for the exact same thing? Maybe this is past the statute of limitations. I'm not really sure how the law works. I didn't know you could use rap lyrics to put someone in jail, but apparently that's something that can totally happen.